Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Mobile with the Guru. This is your host Ricky Cadden, Symbian Guru, and today we've got Ewan Spence of All About Symbian, and we're here at South by Southwest, which is an event here in Austin, Texas. And tell us a little bit about South by Southwest.
It's huge. It's really huge. It's become one of the flagship conferences. There are three elements to it. There's a music conference, which has over 1,800 bands playing. There's a film conference with over 200 screenings spread over 7 days, and there's an interactive conference as well, which runs through from Friday all the way Friday the 13th even, right through until the Tuesday night, bringing together the best of Web 2.0, of interactive web, of various online techie things that go bing bong over the next, over a 5-day period, bringing everyone in. It's basically like summer camp for geeks.
Very cool. That's a good description of summer camp for geeks. So having a lot of
it's in March.
Right, it's a spring camp for geeks.
Spring.
There we go. So we've been checking out a whole bunch of cool mobile stuff and just general interactive. Nokia's also here, but they're not really here. They just kind of showed up.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
Basically, they're here, but not paying any money to the organizers.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically. So, however, we did. Right.
Yeah.
So we did manage to get one cool phone, which is the 5730,
and one businessy phone, which is the E75.
Right. So we have both of these
They're the same phone.
QWERTY devices. We did. Me and you and both have red ones, so that means that I have to post my review a lot faster than he does. So we'll see how that works out. So basically, and we've kind of done some comparison on these two phones. Basically, they're the same phone essentially. You can see they're roughly the same size, and they both slide up to have the QWERTY keyboard.
Except my letters are nicer.
Right. This has that ugly dot matrix font, which I don't know
It's trying to be cool, and kids don't know what dot matrix is anymore.
Right. So now
if it'd been cartoon font, then that would have been fine.
Like Comic Sans.
Yeah,
that would have been.
Comic Sans would have been
fascinating
to the kids.
Right. But so interesting. So basically, that's it, and we'll try to have more coverage on that. So what are your thoughts? Have you been actually using the E75?
I've had a couple of look around, specifically with the email client, and I have to say, they've redone the way, let's specifically call that. The thing is, the icon for message is actually the icon for new message, and the icon for mail, because I've told it Gmail, it's actually giving me a Gmail icon,
right,
which I think is a very nice UI touch.
Yes.
And if we had done a close-up on that, you see there are changes that get into the messaging application, and it will automatically bring up my folders in Gmail using IMAP, which wasn't available before.
Right.
It's got this expansion, so we first saw in the sort of 1500 the 5th edition series devices, and generally the red comes in. They've done a very nice work on the red theme.
It's not as offensive as I would have imagined. The red color scheme.
It's more like the red that you would get on a very nicely sedated business card, as opposed to say something red from Italy that starts with a letter F.
Right.
You are very litigious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's more Lexus red than Lamborghini red.
That's a good description. We're actually filming this show with the E75.
Not this one, obviously,
right,
because that would just cause problems with general relativity.
That would be fascinating if we could do that, but we cannot. So that's what we're doing.
I don't know. You could do a big fiber optic cable, surely, and
maybe zoom it around.
Lens, yeah.
We may have to try that. So we'll try that again later. But anyway, so what other kind of reactions you have, especially what do you think about Nokia's presence at South by Southwest in terms of, I guess, what do you think they should, if they could learn one thing from this conference, what would you?
The honest answer is I think Nokia have done something very smart. The first one is they've not went in and committed a huge amount of money to put a banner somewhere. I mean, if we just spin the camera around, you'll see that there's a blogger lounge, and you'll see that it says Windows Mobile Tech Set.
Right.
So now the Tech Set Lounge, it's the blog. Everyone's calling it the Blogger Lounge. Tech Set is a company organised by Brian Souls and Stefan Kresta. They do a lot of these events and conferences and are known for it. The Windows logo, it's miles away from the door. I'm not quite sure how much bang for buck Windows are going to get out of their PR budget. There will be a significant notice of that, but it's still the Blogger Lounge. Whereas what Nokia are doing is they're almost using this as an educational experience. So sitting here, quietly in the corner, not making too. It's a very sort of just over there actually. It's a very not reserved, but it's a very subtle and understated. It's like we're Nokia, we know what we're doing. You don't need to shout about it. It's very European. and also the fact that they brought in a couple of external people who know South by Southwest very well and has leveraged their smarts into their campaign. I think that they will generate a fair amount of word of mouth buzz, and it wouldn't surprise me if dollar for click, as it were,
right,
they'll actually get a much bigger impact out of what they've done than what Windows Mobile are doing out of old-fashioned traditional pump lots of money down here.
Right, I agree. It makes a lot of sense. Especially, it's interesting to watch the different use cases of mobiles in this scenario. To me, that's what I'm learning the most at South by Southwest is watching people use their phone as everything. It's how you find where all your friends are at. For even lunch plans are usually done with Twitter, and the network's so hosed here that really all you can do is text.
The network's always hosed.
Right. But again, this is my first time, so I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
Ewan's Filofax, which we looked at in the All About Symbian Insight, you'll be able to catch that later. It's really actually pretty fascinating. So, but I've noticed that text basically rules the world here. So if
it's unusual for America.
It really is. It's interesting to see, and obviously, there's a lot of foreigners here, but there's a lot of people from the Valley. Austin's a really cool tech center as well, so it's interesting to see a lot of Americans here using text to organize things, as opposed to just sending messages back and forth. So entire events have been organized only via text. So there's not even like a web-based, place to find out where a lot of these events and meetups and parties and stuff happen. It's just via text, which is really interesting. So that's it so far. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll have more to come on the E75 and the 5730 on Symbian Guru later on. So thanks a lot, Ewan, for joining us.
No problem. We'll have just the same sort of stuff and all about Symbian as well, but with more words and less pictures.
Probably. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.
Ta-ra!